You know what's absolutely insane? Every single atom in your body, the iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, the oxygen you're breathing right now, was forged inside a dying star billions of years ago. But here's what keeps the world's smartest physicists awake at night. Where did that star come from? Where did the very first anything come from? And I'm not talking about your typical origin story. I'm talking about the single most mind-bending question humanity has ever faced. Right now, at this very moment, scientists at CERN are smashing particles together at 99.9999991% the speed of light, desperately trying to answer this question. And what they're discovering is breaking everything we thought we knew about reality. Let me hit you with something that'll mess with your head. The universe is approximately 13.8 billion years old. We know this from measuring cosmic microwave background radiation, basically the afterglow of the Big Bang. But here's where it gets wild. The Big Bang wasn't an explosion in space. It was an explosion of space. Space itself expanded from a point smaller than an atom to the size of a galaxy in a fraction of a second. Scientists call this cosmic inflation, and it happened in just 10 to the power of negative 32 seconds. That's 0.0000000000000000001 seconds. But wait, if everything came from the Big Bang, what came before it? And this is where even the greatest minds in physics start scratching their heads. Stephen Hawking proposed that asking what came before the Big Bang is like asking what's north of the North Pole. The question itself might be meaningless. Time, as we understand it, began with the Big Bang. There was no before because time didn't exist. But does that really satisfy your curiosity? It definitely doesn't satisfy mine. Here's where it gets controversial. Some cosmologists now believe our universe might not be the only one. The multiverse theory suggests there could be infinite universes, each with different physical laws. In some universes, gravity might be stronger. In others, stars might never form. And in this specific universe, our universe, the conditions just happen to be perfect for life. The cosmological constant, the strength of gravity, the mass of electrons. If any of these values were even slightly different, we wouldn't exist to ask these questions. This is called the fine-tuning problem, and it's driving scientists crazy. The probability of our universe having these exact parameters by chance is approximately 1 in 10 to the power of 120. To put that in perspective, that's more than the number of atoms in the observable universe. Some scientists say this proves we're in a simulation. Others say it proves multiple universes must exist. And some say it points to intelligent design, though that's a conversation that gets you kicked out of most physics departments pretty quickly. But let's talk about what we can actually observe. In 2012, physicists discovered the Higgs boson, the particle that gives other particles mass. This was a massive deal because it confirmed that empty space isn't actually empty. There's a field permeating all of existence, and particles get their mass by interacting with this field. But here's the kicker. This field is fundamentally unstable. According to our best calculations, the universe shouldn't exist in its current state. It should have collapsed back into nothingness moments after the Big Bang. Yet here we are. You're watching this video. You're breathing. You're thinking. Against all odds, we exist. Physicist Lawrence Krauss wrote a book called A Universe from Nothing, where he argues that quantum mechanics allows particles to pop into existence from absolute nothingness due to quantum fluctuations. In laboratories right now, we observe virtual particles appearing and disappearing in empty space all the time. So maybe, just maybe, the entire universe is the ultimate quantum fluctuation. But even this explanation requires quantum laws to exist first. So we're back to square one. Where did those laws come from? Roger Penrose, who won the Nobel Prize in Physics in 2020, has an even wilder theory. He believes our universe goes through infinite cycles of death and rebirth. The Big Bang wasn't the beginning. It was just the latest beginning in an eternal sequence. His conformal cyclic cosmology suggests that when our universe reaches maximum entropy and everything spreads out into infinite cold emptiness, the conditions reset and another Big Bang happens. And then there's the simulation hypothesis, which isn't as crazy as it sounds. Philosopher Nick Bostrom calculated that if any civilization reaches a point where they can run detailed ancestor simulations, the number of simulated consciousnesses would vastly outnumber real ones. Statistically speaking, we're more likely to be living in a simulation than in base reality. Elon Musk believes there's a 1 in billions chance we're in base reality. Here's what we know for certain. Something exists rather than nothing. The default state of reality should be absolute nothingness. No matter, no energy, no space, no time. Nothing is simpler than something. Nothing requires no explanation. But we have something. We have galaxies, stars, planets, life, consciousness. We have you and me having this conversation across space and time through a screen. Every explanation we come up with just pushes the mystery back one step. God created the universe? Who created God? The Big Bang started everything? What caused the Big Bang? We're in a simulation? Who's running the simulation? Multiverses? What generated the multiverse? Maybe the ultimate answer is that existence itself is the fundamental mystery. The one question that might not have an answer, at least not one that our human brains, evolved to hunt and gather on the African savanna, can comprehend. But that won't stop us from asking. That won't stop us from building bigger telescopes, smashing particles at higher energies, and pushing the boundaries of human knowledge. So if you want to follow this journey of discovery, hit that follow button because we're just getting started. Now I want to ask you, do you think the universe needs a cause, or could something truly come from nothing?